to the Indie Wrestling Guy with your hosts, the Hall of Fame referee, JHawk, the not-so-mysterious benefactor, JGold, and the legendary Charly Butters.
A DM from our buddy Will over at Gorilla Press the other day.
Slide into your DMs.
Ooh. Is he trying to steal you away from us?
The message kind of, you've made it to the big time, and it includes a screenshot.
Here we go.
There's a mod in TEW9, the Real World Chronicle, and whoever made the mod put me in it.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Yeah.
But he did absolutely no fucking research. Because not only am I in my 50s, but apparently I don't have it, like, it's on my phone.
I have a picture of it. I can send it to you.
Okay. Yeah.
I have it on my phone. I can send it to you too. I can't.
Throw it in the group chat.
I'll do that now while I'm thinking of it here.
I almost threw it in there the day that because he messaged me it too, and I woke up to it and I was fucking laughing. I was gonna send it to you, and then he's like, I already talked to him. I'm like, oh my god.
Now you can't really read it because it's kind of cut off, but as you get it in our group chat here, you'll see that he's known primarily for his work in Beyond and AAW. Two companies I have never worked with in my life.
I love that your picture is in there.
Yeah.
That's an old school picture too.
Yeah, he got a picture of me in like my late 20s, early 30s, and he think I'm 51.
Oh, that's so cool. I can't help it. So what does that mean? You're not a playable character? What are you, an NPC?
Well, the way TEW works is you're basically running a wrestling promotion. So you're hiring and firing and booking and stuff.
And still, so you hire staff, so you have to have referees and you have to have like backstage staff and.
What's it called? TEW?
TEW.
Can I download it to my computer?
Yeah, graydogsoftware.com.
Gray Dog Software. GRAY?
EY.
GREY. Okay.
Now there is a demo version where you can play like 3 months worth for free, and if you want to go beyond that, then you have to pay for the full version.
Young Ed plays it all the time. That's what he's always talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I want to play with JHawk.
Yeah, but you go into the forum, you go into the mod, you find Real World Chronicle, and you can download that mod and hire me as your referee.
But you can't hire Big Sam; he's not in there for some reason. So
this is so fucking cool. I gotta see this. Oh my god, I can buy this now. Yes. Look at this thing. It's so intricate.
Josh is going to drain so much time in there now. He's going to think he's a pro booker now. Watch.
Well, the great thing is we know he's like the one person on the planet that's still watching NXT. We can actually run NXT, hire me for it.
Yes.
Yeah,
JHawk, head referee of NXT.
Yeah. So I'm not going to lie. I'm not even a big fan of that mod. Like I haven't even played around with it yet.
It's still cool that you're in there. That's still awesome. You don't know the guy who put you in there.
I have never talked to the guy, never met the guy. I can only assume that he maybe stumbled onto the podcast at some point.
I was just going to say, if you're listening, TEW guy, thank you for listening and for putting our very own referee into the game.
And DM me on one of the social media, and I'll give you my actual stat because I'm not already in my fucking 50.
I mean, it's close, but don't worry about it.
He got my debut year right, so obviously he heard something from somewhere. But
how the fuck did he know that?
Fucking wild, brother. That's so wild.
You got a stalker. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He got the month wrong, but he got the year right. Oh well,
that's crazy.
That's why I said he must follow me on social or he stumbled on the podcast or something. He knows enough about me to throw me in.
Oh my god, you have some kind of weird stalker following you who's like Trish Stratus, Mickey James style with like a room of your picture and everything. That's pretty awesome.
So Will's just stirring up trouble everywhere because he messaged me Saturday and was like, I'm going to OCW. And I'm like sitting at work and I'm like, man, I was like, I ain't got nothing going on tonight. I've been fucking bored out of my mind lately. I was like, so am I, because it's only like an hour away.
Yeah.
So I get there and like he texts me before I get there and he's like, oh, just so you know, the parking lot's a sheet of ice. Be careful. So I'm like, oh, lovely. So I get there and it's fine. Like I got in just fine. Pay my money and like come in. I'm talking to him and we see good old Porter O'Shea. So I go over and I hand him a push broom that's laying around and I was like, oh, I think you're missing this. And I don't remember anything after that. Apparently I fell on and hit my head. What he says. I fell and hit my head, but I think he punched me.
Oh, well,
No, but
you fell down the stair, Butters. You fell down the stair.
Fell down some stairs. No, but it was all right. There's there's some interesting things. Let me break down some interesting things for you.
Yes.
So crowd was it was all right. It wasn't super heavy, but the ringside was pretty much sold out as far as I could kind of tell. There's one section that was pretty open. We sat at a table in the back, just kind of out of the way.
What kind of venue was it that you got to sit in?
It's not in a church, but it was like a sports complex behind a church that's was made for the church. So it's got like basketball hoops, stuff like that, like a gym basically.
Right. And
nice setup. Everything looked nice. They had lighting rig and everything. I mean, it looked really nice, real professional. They had like a food truck set up outside that was doing food. So waiting to get to the line. There was a line for people getting food. I'm looking, finally I get up there and I look and I'm like, oh, they got fried mushrooms. I was like, I'll get those. It's supposed to be like $5. And then I'm looking and they had, was a double bacon cheeseburger with barbecue sauce. I was like, all right. I was like, why not? It was like $16. I was like, doesn't come with anything. That's just the burger. I'm like, fuck. I was like, well, I didn't eat. It's dinner time. I was like, I need to eat something. I was like, I guess I'm going to do this.
For $15, that better be like a top 5 burger ever.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is like they got the burger vehicle out back. I was like, they're probably going to cook this bad boy up. It's going to be at least, it's got to be pretty good. I was like, for $16, they're pretty confident that this is going to knock my socks off. I was like, all right, this should be good. They're like, okay, yeah, it'll be like 10 minutes. So I give it 10 minutes to come back up. She hands me a little baggie with some fried mushrooms in it. One of them was cold. They were just a soggy mess. They weren't very good. I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. 25 minutes later, I get my burger. I sent you guys the picture. You saw the picture.
Yeah.
There is cheese on it that was not melted. So they didn't cook the burger and put the cheese on it while it was being cooked. So the cheese was lukewarm. It was like 2 squirts of barbecue sauce on either side. The bacon was crispy. The bacon was really good. The burgers were okay, but they weren't like thick. They weren't like super thick, worthwhile burgers. They were like pretty thin, like probably pre-made patties. So I was like, never fucking again will I ever attempt to do that. I was like, I should have thrown a giant fit and gotten more food for free, but it probably would have poisoned me and killed me.
You would have missed the entire damn show if it took 25 minutes to cook a burger.
Right. So, and like I said, it was super mediocre. And I was just like, not happy. Will got loaded fries. They put like cheese on the fries and like they had coney sauce on the fries. The coney sauce was like barely warm. So the cheese did not melt when they put the cheese on it. It was just like cold cheese on top of coney fries on top of the fries that were sort of warm.
I'm wondering why you're surprised, but the only thing that went through my head was, why would you get so much food at a place like that? I'd go up and be like,
there was
one
nothing
hot dog,
out. Like there was like maybe 15 minutes away. There was like a whole string of like restaurants. And I was like, cause I was kind of looking to see like what would possibly be open on my way back through.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I'm like, I should just fucking eat because I'm hungry now. And like, it's out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, I might as well just eat. Like,
Jesus, and there's no wrestling to talk of. Apparently, the most exciting part of the night was the hamburger.
So the most exciting part of the night was Shelby was on the card and had probably the best match on the entire card was his match. It was excellent.
He's awesome. Let's not pretend that Shelby Wilder isn't fucking awesome.
Never said that he wasn't.
Yeah,
he is
I'm saying I don't think he gets enough.
He's one of our top guys in our. Like when we use guys, was like our number 2 guy. Like Shelby was and always has been one of our favorites. And he fucking went out there and killed it with this young kid. Will said he'd seen before, said that he needed like some people that are like, a little bit better than him to kind of get him, up and up. And Shelby and him had a banger match. Like it was excellent. I told Shelby that night, I was like, you had the best match on the card. Like you fucking killed it. Gianni Michael Enrico was there. Tatiana was there. She's the only person that came out. They did intermission and they're like, oh, go visit the stars and, get pictures and do things with them. She was the only person out there. She's the OCW women's champion.
Good for her.
She fucking cleaned up. Like,
Good
she
job.
was all by herself out there taking photos, doing everything. And I told her, I was like, you fucking cleaned up. I was like, nobody else bothered to come out at intermission for anything. I was like, it made no sense. Like, everybody that was like on the card was like some of the people that had merch and could come out and sell stuff were like a surprise. So they don't want to like come out and be like, oh, all those persons here and stuff like that. And it just, it was just not good. It was, oh boy.
I mean, I get if you're deprived and you haven't come out yet, not coming out at intermission, but if they know you're there, why the fuck aren't you out there killing shit, making money?
You would think like everybody should have been out there. If you're a face, you should have been out there making money.
Well, yeah, you're 100% right. You remember Colt Cabana said, if there's a minute, even if one person out there has $10 to part with to give you, you go out there and you get it. Like, there is no reason why people should, especially on the indies, there's no reason why anyone should ever stay in the locker room. Never. But if you want to, I'll give you a perfect example. Are you finished talking about OCW and your hamburgers?
Well, I think that, and then a lot of I don't know the storylines going in, but if I don't know the storylines, it should be very clear who is the face and who is the heel, right? Like you would think like they would make it very obvious during their matches.
Right.
Couldn't fucking tell with any of them. Like they were all over the place. Everybody was all over the place. There was like heels versus heels. And like, it was a gigantic mess. There was like one, like the champion was supposed to be in a loser leaves the company match against the guy, and the champion didn't bother to show up. So it was just like,
well, I think we know who we're going to go over then.
It was so, I don't know what the hell was going on. Like I can't, like, I don't want to shit on them because like obviously shit happens. Like, his car might have broke down. Something could have happened, but like, overall, I wasn't mad that I went to that show. Like, it was still a good time to hang out with Will, see like Porter, see Pedro, watch, Shelby have a really good match. Overall, it was a fun time. Like, I learned my lesson, like buying food from there. But other than that, like I had a fun night. It was better than sitting at home doing nothing. So
definitely, going to wrestling's better than doing almost anything. To be honest, that's my opinion. But yeah, all right. Well, I mean, you went to that, and I went on Sunday evening we loaded up the Bagelmonger family roadster, and it was me, Bagelmonger, Struggles, and Jack Solomon driving to the Mecca for the Pro Wrestling Junkie Super Show. So Gilbert is the owner / promoter and owner of Pro Wrestling Junkie. He's the guy who does all the cards. So if you Butters, I know you were interested in cards. He's the guy. He prints them and everything. So he must have first of all, he had a million sponsors. He's a really nice dude, and he must have really gotten a lot of help. He put together some card. So we got there because Struggles and Jack were doing commentary on High Spots. So, you'll never see that again. And since it was not live. So we got there at like 2:30. The show started at 5. So, I'm very thankful to guys like Struggles and Andrew, Jack and Gilbert for letting me like hang out. So I got to hang out, in the building, help Andrew with they're looking to upgrade ETUs, the way their stage looks. So we were measuring and looking for some new stairs and some new rampways so they can enhance the space they have and things like that. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty awesome. Hanging in there, Gabby Forza was on that car and Hyen and Deanna Perrazzo and Steve Macklin. Nick Gage wrestled. This kid Justin Finn, who was a Creative Pro grad who never wrestled for Creative Pro and this was like his third match. There was a lot of really good stuff. It was Charles Mason versus Steve Macklin for their title. Even though I didn't know they were going to do another show, I thought this was one and done. Every guy there did merch. There was a million dudes there. Like Alan Angels was in a match. Jay Bougie. I'm trying to like put all. I mean, you'll look it up online. It was just a super card. There were
two. Did you give Nomi the business?
Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't want to bother her. She was with Brittany Brooks and a couple others. The Zeta Steel and that crew. They were doing their planning for the show, so I didn't want to bother them. And then Nomi was kind of doing her her thing. I said to Struggles, I'm going to go over and ask her why she wouldn't come on and bailed on us. But Mo Mathers was there. I swear he doesn't pay attention to me, but I could have said something. He's just a kid sometimes. But the
there's no hatred for any of them. We completely understand they're busy people. So
of course we love busting chops. The craziest parts of the night, there were 2 dives. Now, Struggles is saying they're getting rid of their barricades in ETU because of this. It's very dangerous in the Mecca. The Mecca is not big enough for certain setups. And so they had barricades. So the entrance ramp was like off to the corner, and then the barricades were kind of coming out almost like a rhombus or something, because they didn't have enough barricades, it looked like. Now, Braden Toon does a blind moonsault from the middle rope out. Not enough room, and he's a big fella. He crashed into those guardrails with his shins. The sound of the thud and his yelling and the referees, and this is how tough this dude is. He got in there and finished the match. When we saw him later, his legs were black. That's how bad
my God.
The bruising was. They were black, going up from his ankle to his kneecap. Then Mathers does a dive, a suicide tope over the top rope and hits his hamstrings on the barricades. Now, according to Jack and people who were by Struggles, that's two of the top stars in ETU. Apparently, he let out some sort of noise on commentary when both of those dives happened. He saw his life and his card flash before his eyes.
Struggles, I know the feeling, baby. I was at a Joy and watched my card fall apart very quickly one night.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And, like you said, getting a chance to hear about the business and stuff with the guys over at, with going with Will and the guys over at NeoPro. Struggles is really open and talks a lot about the business. And I enjoy talking business with him. Just listening to, what the deals are cut between different companies, how they get some of these dudes in from other countries, all those things. So,
and he enjoys spoon feeding you like a baby, like we have to in the Discord.
He does. You know what? He doesn't mind, everyone who listens.
He does the airplane sounds for you.
He doesn't mind. I like listening to people tell stories. That's why we do this. That's why I like to listen. I'd rather hear people tell me. I'm not asking because I'm lazy. I'm asking because I like other people's stories. But anyway, a lot of fun. Great show. I really hope they do another. It was packed to the gills. The Mecca was a zoo that night. Nick Gage looked 10 years younger, his body. He lost weight. He's put on muscle. His face still looks very drawn. He's got this big full beard, so he looks very tired and old, but his body looked good. He put that kid over, which was amazing. And the kid's parents were there, and Gage is beating the piss out of this kid, suplexes to the floor without the padding type of shit. And it was good on him. So anyway, that was that. Now, if we can get to the last great story for the day from me, because about a month and a half ago, a Twitter casting call went up for anyone who wanted to be in this Steven Spielberg movie in Huntington and Long Island. You have to be available on March 4th. They give you this whole list of things. They were looking for wrestling fans. So I'm like, my wife's like, holy shit, let me help you put together your headshots, your photos. You have to send in pictures. So I sent in pictures of me and Harper at the wrestling, me at the AIW stuff, like all sorts of stuff. We wrote this whole thing up about a month and a half ago, and I just forgot about it because I was like, nah, they weren't going to do it. So last night I get an email and it says, we'd like to have you, we saw that you were interested. We want to make sure you're still available. Fill out these forms and we're going to take you. So I said, that's fucking amazing. So, it's my life's dream to be a wrestling fan in a Steven Spielberg movie with one caveat. Please note, you'll be asked to portray politically conservative MAGA supporters and will be given a red hat and American flag clothing and or props. Now, I think that my goal here is to stand out so much that, Steven Spielberg's like, that guy over there, racist wrestling fan number one, should have his story fleshed out even more. I feel like we should write more for him into the script so that when I finally get an IMDb page, the first credit is Steven Spielberg movie, racist wrestling fan number one.
If you can channel this into a speaking part, you can join SAG and get all the insurance and shit.
You see?
too. So.
Yes. Racist wrestling fan number one. That's me. I'm thinking, I heard today on the radio that the movie, so the other one, he's been doing a casting call in Cape May, and it turns out the movie's like about aliens. So who knows? What if they take me away? Like, what if we all get zapped or killed outside of like a wrestling arena? Like, I'm thinking we're going to be like fans outside a barricade, like shouting dirty things at the wrestlers as they walk in. Like, that's what I'm thinking it probably will be. I don't assume that they're going to, build an arena or something like that in Huntington. There's really nothing out there unless they go into one of the venues. But I'm just waiting for the address and information, and I am going to do my thing. So,
well, actually, it's going to be called Schindler's Clothesline.
Yeah. So, in 2 years when the movie comes out, your boy is going to be in one of these. I bet you we go through all this. I do the whole thing. It's funny, and then they cut it. So who knows? But maybe I'll be invited to the premiere. You never know.
I can't wait for you to be at the premiere of Schindler's Clothesline, brother.
Yeah, well, I was technically an extra in Major League 2, although I have no idea where I am in that movie.
Were you at the baseball game?
Yeah, what they did was, because that Major League 2 came out in '94, and the old stadium closed in '93 right before they opened Progressive Field.
Right.
Because the stadium was sold out that weekend, they just took a bunch of crowd shots over the weekend. So I'm in there somewhere. Come wide shot, but
yeah, my mom and dad are in Talladega Nights.
Where?
They were down in Talladega to the race, and they were filming stuff for the movie. And so my dad was telling me all about it when they came back. And then that movie came out, and I was like, "Holy shit!" But I could never find them in there. Like, there's so many quick shots of the crowd and stuff. There's no way to see them. But my mom and dad were there, and when they filmed, so they're in that movie technically.
That's awesome. Should make you feel good. You watch that movie, make you feel good.
Oh, it makes me feel good anyway. I love that movie.
Yeah.
So good. So fucking good.
Well, anyway, yes. So that's me. And that was my weekend. It was all in one day. It all came down on a Sunday. And actually, yesterday I got the notice. So it was Sunday into Monday as we were recording on a Tuesday today. So anyway.
Shout outs, Zach, Andrew, and Patty.
Hey, Patty.
And special shout out to the Bobby Beverly, who came into the shop today and bought a bunch of stuff with his kids.
Oh, yeah.
We talked shop for a half hour or so.
That's awesome.
He was my only customer today.
Really?
Yeah, him and his kids.
An uneventful Tuesday.
Very uneventful. And his daughter cried until he bought her both things she wanted. So she knew how to work him.
I feel you, Bev. I feel you. My daughter just has to cry a little bit and everything. I just open the wallet. It just happens.
Yep.
What's on this weekend?
All right, over on Triller. This will be Friday, January 31st at 7 p.m. from Indianapolis, Indiana. Wrestling Revolver presents Square Game from the Fountain Square Theater. Main event for the Revolver World Championship, Myron Reed defending against Trey Miguel. That should be a fantastic main event. Also have Jake Something defending the remix title against Crash Jackson. An indie street fight, Steve Macklin versus Emmy Award winner Paul Walter Hauser.
God damn.
Masha Klimovich against Ace Austin, first time ever.
What day is that again?
That is Friday the 31st, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Where is it located?
Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. I did the main event mixer on Sunday too. And by the way, those guys are amazing, and I hope you guys can go on and do one of the mixers with them. We put up some bets as to who was going to be at the Rumble, and one of my dark horses, I think Masha is going to be there at least making because an appearance. So I just want to make sure she was in the neighborhood this weekend.
She will be in town. She will be in town this weekend.
Yeah.
Also, trio match BDE and Alpha Sigma against First Class AJ Francis, Rich Swan, and Casey Navarro. Plus, Jamie Callahan, Gringo Loco, GM Miller, Jay Chris, Rohit Raju, Damian Chambers, Phil Stamper, and ... Surprises. That's actually how it's written on Triller, on Triller's website. ... Surprises.
That's this show. ... Surprises. Okay, over on the IWTV network, It's Naptown All Pro. This is Thursday night because it's tonight. You're listening to our show. So tonight, opening night of Naptown All Pro Combat Crossroads. How You What? That's what it's called. The Incarnation Gauntlet. Dark Sheik versus Jocelyn Navarro. Myron Reed and the Killionaires Club versus Hot Cole and Emodity. Then there's a Hoosier Hardcore three-way dance. Cave-Ron Canyon versus Hoodfoot versus Dale Patrick's. Memphis Dog Collar match. Mad Dog Colony versus Connolly versus Josh Crane. Oh, my Lord. And the Naptown All-Pro Championship. Anakin Murphy versus the current champion and IW Guide favorite and loyal listener, the fucking problem, Isaiah Broner. So tune into that tonight. You'll be listening. So tonight, it'll be Thursday night, and it is on at 8 o'clock only on the Indie Wrestling Television Network.
Is that 8 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Central?
8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern.
All right. And future dates you need to know about. February 8th, AIW Ice Ice Oh Baby in Youngstown, Ohio. You can get tickets on Eventbrite. February 14th, 880 Wrestling MV's Missed Connections 3. Tickets are available now. If you can get them on their, I think they have the link set up on their X account. February 15th, NeoPro White Noise, Canton, Ohio. NeoProTix.com. Front row is sold out. Second row is almost sold out. And, of course, Mikey Montgomery defending the IW Guide title against Gary J on that card.
Fuck yeah.
Doing a review.
And this time around, we are reviewing Enjoy Wrestling, Geekin 13, Very Evil, taped October 12th from Vellum Fermentation in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nice little brewery show. I love brewery shows. They're so much fun.
Oh, the setting for this one, you know, I'll get into my opinion on it, but the setting for this one was awesome. It just looked so different. And the way Enjoy sets up their lighting and their TV and their rigging, it was a perfect, it just visually, it was really nice to watch.
They're a company that goes out of their way to do that. I was talking with Scotty about it, and he said that room there, they had to do the lights, they had to get the chairs, they had to do a lot of extra to make that happen. But that venue is awesome. I really liked it. I told him I thought it was really unique, very different from the other stuff, but it still looked really good on camera, and everything like that. So.
Yeah, until I actually saw the brew tank in the back, I actually thought it was like a ballroom or something. I mean, that's how it looked on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I love how it looked. Like a brewery shows are fun. Enjoy fan base anyway. It's just really there to have fun. You have some wrestling fans, but it's people there to have a good time. It's doubly so when you have a show at a brewery. I mean, people go to a brewery to drink. If they're entertainment, just call the better.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, the rampway, basically the walkway from the entrance to the ring was very long. It was a very long corridor to get from the entrance all the way to the ring, if I could say that. But yeah, it was really fun. It looked really fun.
Episode 1 opens up with a couple of backstage interviews with Jem Fair interviewing The Runway and then interviewing PME, making their Enjoy debut.
I couldn't be happier for two guys than seeing PME. And then versus The Runway, when we get into that, though, perfect pairing.
Well, as we get ready to introduce our first match, we get interrupted by Sonny Kick and Billy Dixon.
They are such fun heels here. Like, it cracks me up. How far Billy Dixon's come with like his like promo stuff. It's just really fun to watch them just really heel it up here and be bad guys.
I mean, we say it every time we interview these shows, but we went from really hating pretty much everything Billy Dixon did to absolutely loving pretty much everything he does. We got a night and day.
I love Billy Dixon as a voice and a heater and the partner with Sonny. Ring work, but everything else I like. It works. Sonny is a heel. Who would have thought?
We do have that open,
wild.
And then we do have that opening match. It is The Runway at PME.
Hold on. We didn't talk about it.
Wait, but I also want to say, try that in this neighborhood, Sonny. Everybody loves Sonny. There's no way that you could boo Sonny. The concrete rows of Jersey City. There's no way. You come to New York, New Jersey, no one's booing Sonny.
Oh, a good thing these shows aren't in New York, New Jersey.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's why it works so well.
But they kind of got told to leave by a certain general manager one Ziggy Heim came out, and I'm digging Ziggy as the general manager. I think she's kind of finding her footing there. She's not used to like doing that kind of like role, but I think she's getting it. She's starting to, and we'll see it even more on Get Warmer when we go to review that. So I mean,
I don't know if did the crowd realize, like, sometimes I question if the crowd is the same at every show. I felt like Ziggy's music hit, and I think, was it Jem and Rich Bocchino? Was that who it was? Bocchini. I think they hyped it more. I wasn't feeling it first. Like, was the crowd really reacting to her? I just didn't know. Like, I was like, that's supposed to be like your hero of Pittsburgh, right? Like, I just didn't know if it was the way I was watching it or what. But did you feel it or no? Did it not feel like the groundswell like it did when they first announced her at the last show?
It is a bit different crowd than what you normally get at Mr. Small. There are people that go to every show,
right?
And then there are people that only go to certain venues.
Yeah. That's
at a brewery crowd, you've got a large portion of those people that came there to have a few drinks, and it just happened to be that wrestling was there.
Right.
But anyway, yes, let's get into the first match.
And that first match, it is the Runway against PME. And this was kind of fun because we've got Jim Fair talking about how the crowd really starting to get behind the Runway, and they were pretty much behind PME in this one.
Yeah, it can't not be. Philly looks great. He comes out, and as soon as you say a tag team is from Erotic City, it's over. They're the best. They're over. And Philly's doing his thing, and like I feel like he's so confident now that he lost all that weight. He looks awesome. I feel like he's so confident, and Marino just understands his role, that this was like one of my favorite matchups that Enjoy has ever done, because I do love the Runway. I appreciate them on this show so much, and I love PME, and I couldn't have been happier as the way you want to launch this season was showing me that. I thought it was great.
Philly hit an assisted double sliced bread. During this, I popped huge for that. I couldn't believe he fucking did that move. I was like, that's usually something I could see Marino doing, but Philly doing it, just being a bigger guy than
he's a cruiserweight now,
fucking doing it. I was like, God damn! All right, here we go.
Yeah, Philly Collins is a cruiserweight.
Yeah, the way the crowd's reacting, though, kind of proved my point about this being a different crowd than Mr. Small. But we'll talk about it. Get Warmer. The Runway is over at Faken with the normal Enjoy crowd.
Yeah,
because and they were getting over with the match against Breek and Dango last time out. So you definitely tell how different the crowd were from one venue to the next here.
Yeah,
but I love this match. It's a great way to open the show.
Yes, and I don't always just go, the opening match. This was my favorite match of all the matches this season. But I also I put a lot into PME. I just think they deserve so much more visually out of independent wrestling. Like, more people need to see they're what a well-oiled tag team should be. So like, if anybody listens to this show, any young guys, watch PME if you want to watch tag teams. Watch their ascension from when they first started to when they won the belts in AIW. They're what you want to be. And the Runway is also, they know exactly who each other's roles are. And so does PME. Great match. Fucking love them.
And no other tag team is going to be able to get away with using Phil Collins and entrance music. I'll just throw that out there, too. Very good matchup, though. It was the Runway getting the win. From there, we go backstage. We have an interview with Andrew Palace about his upcoming match with MV Young. And basically saying MV Young calling himself the King of Pittsburgh, and Andrew Palace going to prove he's the real King of Pittsburgh. And I am here for it. And that is our next match. Andrew Palace and MV Young, one-on-one.
Andrew Palace has been around a long time, right? Like, he's been around a long time.
Very long time.
I remember him wrestling in Magnum in like 2019 before Magnum retired. Like, he's been around for a very long time, especially in that area.
2012, if I'm not mistaken, Andrew Palace debut.
Yeah, MV threw everything at him, and they really did a good job of making Andrew look like $1 million here, because, I mean, he took everything and kept kicking out, so...
Yeah, another very good matchup. I was shocked to find out this was their first one-on-one meeting. And Grant MV Young's rough with other play. He was based out in New York for a long time coming. I kind of get into that aspect, but I mean, he's been back in Pittsburgh long enough. I would have thought somebody would have booked this match before now. Hell, I would have thought MV would have booked before this match before now.
Well, the weird thing is like down in Pittsburgh, like if you're IWC, you don't do a lot of other stuff usually. So like there's a handful of guys that might, but like there was other guys that really just didn't do other indies. Like they're very segregated, similar to how like Cleveland is. Like they have a very storied. I've heard some things recently, like some very storied differences and stuff. So it's like it's very interesting to how they've kind of been kept apart this whole time, and like now they're kind of coming together and enjoy to wrestle each other. So
what's the deal with that with IWC? They're just not there. Are they? How does it even? Are they just that local that they don't bother with the other? Like,
I mean, IWC's been around since like they were my first indie show. I went and saw Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels go 30 minutes for our ROH title there. Mick Foley was there. That was my very first indie show. Like I went with my youth pastor and stuff like that because it was in Pittsburgh. I wasn't driving to Pittsburgh by myself, and it was a blast. But like cool. They've been around forever, so like I mean, they would be very similar to the standard of what AIW is, but they've gone through some different owners. Like when I went, it was Norm Connors was the owner. He sold it off to somebody, and like now it's somebody completely different, and it's run very different, and like they have some interesting ideas, but it's a lot of like if you ever see like True Prince of Pro talk about them, like he gets so angry about stuff they do, and then like there's other promotions out there that shouldn't exist that do stuff, and then like WrestleRex exists and Enjoy exists, and it's like an 880 exists. It's very weird down there. Like the scene's very different and very weird. We have to find somebody that's in the know and sit down and have them tell us like the whole sordid like history of Pittsburgh wrestling, because I think it'd be very interesting.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to realize like the area itself is just so it's might be just the Midwest how it's like that, how tribal now it feels like. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Chicago, Indianapolis, like there's so Michigan, like it still sounds very territorial when you talk about it, even like that. I'm just fascinated by that. But yeah, I never
figure Cleveland. I think a big part of Cleveland was there was a lot of scummy promoters that ruined venues for a lot of wrestling. Whereas like I don't know if that was really the same for Pittsburgh. Yeah. But I think with Pittsburgh and having the PA Athletic Commission and everything like that, it was very different than Ohio was, because the Athletic Commission didn't handle as much. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, this match was okay to me. I'm not that huge of a fan of Andrew Palace, and I'm not that huge of a fan of like. I just didn't know where it came from. Like I wasn't feeling it. Like okay, we're doing
ever since like MV. Lost the belt, the Enjoy title. He's just kind of been floating around, like doing different things. Like they don't
driftery.
Yeah, kind of like they don't have anything major for him. Like they're starting the next show, Get Warmer. They kind of are building something for him, but like he's very much just like a challenger of the week type situation at this point.
Put him against Derek. Let them beat the crap out of each other. Just beat the shit out of each other. Do it.
Yeah. What they were counting on with this match was the Pittsburgh area wrestling fan knowing who these two guys were, and it kind of playing it like a dream match. That's what they were counting on with this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I do think if you're not from Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, you're not familiar with these guys, I can absolutely understand where you're coming from with that, JGold.
Yeah.
But I think for those fans in that area, this was a really big deal.
Okay.
It was MV Young getting the win with the Pittsburgh Plunge, although Cage Match had that reversed, so I should get in touch with them about that. And then we go to the Enjoy tag team title match after we get a TME vignette hyping their match, and then an interview with King of the District, and they're going to get the belt back that they technically never lost. They lost them in a four-way. And that's our main event of episode 1, TME defending the Enjoy tag team championship against the King of the District.
Monsters. Every time we watch them, they're monsters. They don't make human beings who are exactly like these guys, physically, height, weight, athletic ability. Jesus Christ. No offense to the Kings of the District. You have no business being in the ring with TME. They are fucking statues. They are amazing. Anyway, I'm always stunned every time I see
their entrance gets me super duper hype. Like, it's just I love their entrance so much. Like I want to run through a brick wall when they come out.
I feel bad for Eel O'Neill. I feel like if Duke Davis punched Eel O'Neill for real, he would just fly out of the arena. He would just, the two of them and Jordan Blade. I mean, I was like, what can you do? Like they're just monsters. Like I don't know how you find tag teams to hook up with their
teams are
size.
so athletically gifted. What's really entertaining is that they still have the psychology too, because they literally got the crowd to chant for Olive Garden and for Cheesecake Factory. I mean, they literally can still manipulate the crowd, even though it's like they're going to put on a hell of a performance, like physically.
Yeah.
Like they still know the psychology of it to the point where they're like having fun with the crowd and like making it like a cheesy little like deal about like, oh, you didn't show up to dinner, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, if you were to have somebody explain what a pro wrestler is supposed to look like, I think they're describing TME.
Oh, can you imagine those guys in like the 80s or early 90s stepping out to wrestle like that? Those guys if they were around in the 90s, right, during the Attitude Era, ECW would have made them tag champs and never took the belts off them. Honestly, with their size and athletic ability and grittiness, they may not have been all that on like WCW. They'd ruin them, but ECW would have taken those two and just run every building with them. That's what I think.
A fun little matchup here. TME getting the win with their launch suplex combo. And after the match, we follow King of the District to the back, and they run into Darius Carter.
The All-Father.
The All-Father. And hey, very good job. You guys have great matching all the time, but we're having great matching getting you. Foreshadowing some stuff for the future. I like it.
He's not wrong. Yep.
No. Now that was the end of episode 1. We move on to episode 2. It opens up with Jim Fair interviewing amateur referee Haig about the upcoming ladder match. And then Nick Wilde interrupts. Then the fourth line interrupts. And then Johnny and Michael Imbrico interrupt. And then the 5 of them brawl backstage for a minute. The smartest people in this were Judy Underwood and Count Noctis, but they stayed out of the entire thing and stayed fresh for later.
880 ladder match.
And Count Noctis was just biting people throughout the whole match, which made me laugh.
Who is that? I don't know. I don't think I've watched enough 880 to know who that is.
It's just an indie guy, man. Like he's not.
Yeah, okay. I've worked a few shows with him, but he had not really gone out. He's gone out playing, but he's not really. If you see his name on a card, he's not going to be the draw on the card.
So Jared is a vampire now, unofficially.
I've never been bitten.
I don't believe you.
I pay for that.
Yeah, you do, Josh. We know.
Yep. Yes, I do.
The New York ladies of the night giving you hickeys.
How do you know they were from New York
on your nipples?
Yeah, it actually just pulled up Noctic and Cage match here. He's been in California, Nevada, Oregon, Indiana, Kentucky. He traveled play.
He's been biting people everywhere.
I've got results for Defy with him. I mean, he gets out playing, he works playing.
Yeah, Junie's out there doing all kinds of stuff too, working CZW and all kinds of crazy stuff.
I give Junie full marks because I have seen him on so many shows. He's really getting his body in shape, and he's really working a lot. Like I saw him in DPW. He's working a lot.
He's also like crazy, dude. Like he's everywhere on the East Coast now. Like when we talked with him and stuff like that, like he was like, oh, I plan on doing this, this, and this. And it's like, oh, okay. And then he's been fucking following through on that like crazy. Like he's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just lots of craziness in this match. I mean,
I thought it overstayed its welcome a little bit. I thought it overstayed.
You want to talk about?
I thought it overstayed its welcome a little bit. I did. There were some parts of this where the ladder, there was one guy up there all by himself waiting for, guys to come. That's my biggest pet peeve about ladder matches. It always will be. You can't fake climbing up a ladder for an hour and a half, especially when the briefcase was like right there, like it took a little bit of sapped a little bit of my energy while I was watching that.
Casey War with the sunset flip powerbomb, and Junior Underwood just sliding off the ladder out of the ring.
Heads up on the referee for keeping the ladder stable enough so that Junie could fall out landing on the back of his fucking head too.
Right. They kind of caught him and went down with him. And then Brandon St. James doing the elbow drop off the top of the ladder to the outside through a table on Nick's. Wild stuff.
Yeah, Nix was out. He was out of it after that, right? That was like the end of
Oh
him,
yeah, they
basically.
even had him in like a neck brace and stuff when they were trying to haul him to the back.
Yep, that was the end of Nix in that one.
When they're hauling them in the back, yeah.
I felt bad for the poor referee, George Rock. Whenever a guy was going up both guys a ladder, he had to hold the ladder stable until somebody fell off. I don't want to be in there with all that shit going on.
When did this become the thing, by the way? I don't like it. They did it at the GCW pay-per-view, everything. When did it become go in there and hold the ladder for them?
So the reason for it is because the our indie promotions, they can not WWE, they can basically cut to make fucking 30 ladders and shit. These ladders are not meant to have people climbing up on both sides of it.
Then don't do it.
Josh,
So they have
what?
Does it take you out of the show?
No, it's just a little irritant for me.
Do you want these people to get hurt?
No.
Then shut the fuck up, because
then don't
the referees holding the ladder they know what they're doing. They stay out of the shot 90% of the time. I'd rather them be safe and accomplish what the spot is and everybody land okay than AJ Gray fucking eating ring post because they didn't hold the fucking ladder for him. I'd rather not have botches. I'd rather have completed moves. I'd rather it be that way. I don't care that the ref's in there. The ref is going to do stuff like that. As long as the ref isn't setting a wrestler on fire while the other guy holds him up and then throws him out of the ring, I think we're fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's one of those things, JGold, where as a wrestling fan, I kind of agree with you. Why is the referee getting involved at all? I can get that from the fan standpoint. And the first time I had a referee at a ladder match where they wanted me to hold the ladder like that, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, the ladders are not meant for people climbing up on both sides. They're designed for somebody to climb up one side and that's it.
Yeah.
So you got to do what you got. You got to do what you can do to build drama for the match and still keep everybody as safe as possible.
Right, but that's why I also think as a referee, it's your job to keep both competitors safe. And if that involves you holding a ladder for them while they try to kill each other, that's part of it. I'm sorry, it's part of it.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right. I just ask. I ask.
And that's fine. We had a good discussion on it.
If the referee's holding it for everybody, it's fine. If it looks like the referee's only holding it for certain people and playing favorite,
and climbing up underneath of them and pushing them up the ladder, then yes, okay. I can understand. I would be pissed if that was happening, but if they're just holding it while the two are up there exchanging blows, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'm much happier with a referee holding a ladder in play, having people keep their balance, than I am with wrestler telling referee, "Help me get up the table."
Yeah. Well, I will say the right guy won this match. I will say. I think he looks better and better every time I see him.
The win, Gianni Michael Enrico was able to choose whatever match he wanted for Get Warmer, which we will cover. I won't spoil that until we review that next time out, but we'll have some fun with that one. We then have an interview backstage with Jem interviewing Mikey Montgomery, and that leads to Mikey Montgomery against Billy Dixon in our main event for Episode 2. And Billy Dixon saying, if I'm going to be forced to wrestle, it's going to be under my terms. I'm not wrestling Mikey unless it's no DQ. So Mikey attacked him, the bell rings, and then Mikey goes, I accept. Well, I'm glad you accepted after the match started, Mikey.
I don't like Mikey losing so much, but okay.
I mean, he was handcuffed and did you see the dive the no-hand dive that he did to the outside? He just fucking ate concrete on it. I mean, it was...
They love him there. Holy moly.
Yeah, he's Mikey, ever since he did that dive off the balcony, he's been a made man and enjoy. So
he plays the he is the face, the underdog, all those things over there for Enjoy. They use him for all that.
And he got a really good match out of Billy Dixon. I think this was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. It had me, even though I kind of knew where they were going with it, I was sitting at the shop tonight watching it, just fucking into it.
Yeah.
It was a very good match. Billy Dixon, from an in-ring standpoint, better heel as well.
Mm-hmm.
He can play to the crowd and yell and get the crowd into the match that way. He doesn't have to put on a banger match to have a good match.
Now, and there's a part too where he had hit a move and Mikey kicked out and he was sitting there and he was just you couldn't hear what he was saying, but he was yelling and getting himself. He was really angry about that. He's what do I got to do to fucking pin this motherfucker? They were rolling, man. They were really rolling in this match. Holy shit.
Yeah. Do I need a Billy Dixon match going nearly 20 minutes?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but you need a Mikey match going nearly 20 minutes.
I would normally
on one
say
hand,
yeah.
on the other, I think it was fine. I like this match.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the match overstayed its welcome at 20 minutes, but I kind of when I realized we hit 15, I'm going, okay, now we can, we got to be getting near the end, especially because Mikey had already been handcuffed for like 5 minutes at that point.
20 for anybody is a long time. Let's just be honest. 20-minute matches are long. I think the sweet spot for a good match is, you want something that's going to eat away anywhere 8 to 12, 8 to 15 max. 20 minutes is long for anybody, even long for television. So
Mikey was busting out his best Darby Allin impression there with the handcuffs.
Yeah.
Well, it was Billy Dixon getting the win, and I had 19 minutes and 48 seconds, longest match of the show, getting the win with the pile driver. We then go to episode 3, and we open with an interview with Danhausen.
I felt like he mailed that interview in a little bit.
If you've seen the Danhausen interview, it was a Danhausen interview.
To be fair, he also was at Toyhio all day that same day. So, like, he had to drive from Toyhio down there, then wrestle after he was dealing with fans all day long. So, like, Danhausen was probably very tired.
Nice and evil.
very, very tired boy.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah. And then, of course, we get the interview with Mr. Darius Carter, the Allfather, after, and that leads into their match, Darius Carter against Danhausen.
By the way, has anyone's character never had to change as much as Darius Carter? He's the same since I've seen him in Hoboken in 2016. The guy has never changed his character, and it doesn't feel stale.
It doesn't feel stale.
Right. Is there anybody who he hasn't had to reinvent himself? He can go ahead and do that anywhere. And it's just his style, his delivery. He's never had to change who he is. And I respect him for that. I really do.
I mean, you're looking at a guy who just won his second ECWA Super 8 early last year. I was at the tournament where he won the first one in 2022. I mean, and to get that kind of push behind him 2 out of 3 years winning that tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, that can go a lot for how highly people think of him. So
yeah,
and he's fantastic. I love watching him. And this is kind of an interesting matchup here because you've got Darius Carter who works curtain style. You've got Danhausen who work curtain style. You think this could be a clash of style, and they work pretty well together.
Yeah, this was really fun.
I was gonna say, it worked. It wasn't as goofy as Danhausen normally is. It was very, it was because Darius Carter didn't let it go to that stupidness, didn't play the cowardly, whatever. He got in there and he wrestled him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed this quite a bit. It was, and I liked the decision here. It was Darius Carter getting the win with the sleeper hold, Danhausen packing out to it. And I like that. A lot of people are going to say, why is Danhausen losing to Darius Carter? Darius Carter's coming in here every show.
Right.
Danhausen's going to come in once a year, once every 2 years, maybe. He's not there every time out. The kick and Funny Kick with Funny Kick coming back show after show after show. You've got a name showing up once. The name should be putting somebody over.
Yep. He doesn't need the win, Danhausen. It's not like you go away going, oh my God, I can't believe that Danhausen lost. He should have won. No, you're just like, oh, okay. And Danhausen goes out and Darius Carter gets the rub, and that's that. It worked.
Yep.
Darius Carter gets the rub. Danhausen make many human money at the merch table intermission. You're good.
Yep.
You get a backstage interview with Sonny Kick and Billy Dixon, which is mostly Billy Dixon talking, which is fine. And that leads to the main event of the evening, Sonny Kick defending the Enjoy Championship against Mr. Grimm.
Sonny did a good job playing the chicken shit heel here.
Mr. Grimm's awesome.
Yeah, like Mr. Grimm just hitting some like that suplex Mr. Grimm hit, just throwing Sonny like she was nothing was hilarious. I was like, oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Mr. Grimm but Sonny is ripped and muscular and believable, and Mr. Grimm is just all good things in an independent wrestler. He's just great. I love Mr. Grimm.
It said something about how good this show was. This is probably my least favorite match of the entire show. It's still good.
I mean, I liked the match. I wouldn't say it's it was awesome. I liked it. It was fine. But I love Mr. Grimm anyway. There's pieces of matches that I like that I really enjoy. I like watching Mr. Grimm. I'm fascinated by Sonny's physique and how, Sonny didn't get a fair shot in AEW. And then, on certain indies, she's doing her thing, and it's fascinating to me. I'm not going to go on record and say I thought, I don't think it was like that outstanding of a match, but I think it got across what they wanted to get across. I don't know what the story is with Mr. Grimm in Enjoy, like where they ever eventually. I actually thought eventually Mr. Grimm was supposed to be the champ. Like I didn't realize with what's his name, Gavel,
David Lawless.
Yeah, I didn't think that David Lawless. I didn't think that was going to like kind of fizzle out, and that was going to be that. I thought that's how Grimm gets to the next level when he finally gets his hands on David Lawless, and then kind of eating a pin. I don't know. It's just in my head. I just didn't see it going in that direction.
It's just not everybody's time. Like, there's got to be, like, he was built up as a challenger, and, like, he did that whole storyline, and he got his shot, and he got screwed out of it by Billy Dixon, and he's been kind of feuding with him as it is. So will he come back to, interfere in another match when somebody else is getting a title shot? You never know. Like,
yeah, they did almost kind of play it off on commentary, like it was a continuation of the Lawless feud. David Lawless kind of paying Billy Dixon. So maybe they're still doing more with that.
Yeah, I think this just builds up like, it's a credible victory for Sonny to continue the storyline. And then, Sonny's going to face Max at the Get Warmer show. So, like, Sonny's facing some big time competition. It's not like she's getting, like, some no names and some easy competition to defend the belt. She's facing top talent from around the world. And Billy Dixon's just enough to help between the two of them keep that belt around her waist. So
long term with Sonny, I think, and Enjoy. I think they don't hot shot their titles. I don't know if I would say, you get ready for some other change. I don't know. I can see Sonny holding it until after Taco Mania into the summer. So
yeah, I think they definitely have an end game in mind for it. Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that I don't know that I have an idea where the end game is, but I don't know for sure. So it was kind of getting the win with that spinning Inkagiri she done. And that was it. That was Enjoy Very Evil. Took place on my birthday.
Yeah, it was same day as Toy Haya, so I didn't go.
I would say I enjoyed the show. I love the PME match the best. I am so happy for them. I don't think it was my favorite Enjoy show. There was just not enough. I just wasn't as hyped as some of other Enjoy shows, some of the other cards they put out there. Mm-hmm. But it was good. I'd give it, if it was a thumbs up, thumbs down. It gets a thumbs up for me. Just not my favorite of their efforts.
Yeah, I'd give it like 3 out of 5 jars of teeth.
Yeah, I'll give it 3.5 ladder out of 5.
I miss my pal Derek on Enjoy, but it is what it is.
He's off doing things.
Yep.
And you can't use everybody every show, even if you want to. Like, no matter how much you want to use everybody, like, you got to cycle talent in and out every once in a while.
No, I get it. I just I don't know. There was just something missing for me Enjoy wise on this show. Maybe it was the 880 ladder match, like bringing in all that 880 talent. I don't know if I needed Palace and MV Young. I could have done something else, but. Well, I was really happy. I love seeing the runway. I love PME, and Danhausen entertains. Not my favorite, but entertains in that match. So, yeah.
As much as I like the venue this show was in, I do think not being in Mr. Small take away from a lot of the atmosphere of the show. I think that's a lot of it too. I think the show would have felt a bit better at Mr. Small.
The chaos of Mr. Smalls, yeah. Everybody's on top of each other in Mr. Smalls too. It feels just so much more like chaotic. I like that, I think, for indie shows. Plugs.
All right. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at Ref JHawk. Luke Guy at Ref JHawk. Instagram at JHawk1539. I believe my next booking is going to be Neo Pro on the 15th.
Fuck yeah.
Woohoo! Gary J. Mikey Montgomery for the IW Guide title. Go.
Hall of Fame ref. That's how you do it. You're going to do a title match. You have to put that like having Earl Hebner in the ring.
Gary J's going to chop Jared's chest.
JHawk is like Earl Hebner without the bootleg shirts. Like, let's just.
I think he's got bootleg IW Guide shirts. He's hawking outside the venue. I catch him. I'm going to knife him.
He tucks them back into his sleeve when he sees you come outside. Oh, Charlie, what are you doing here?
Okay. I would ask, why would I be stupid enough to do that, knowing you're going to be at the building? But then why was Earl stupid enough to do that when he knew that McMahon was going to be at the building? So
Exactly.
So my plugs, Enjoy Get Warmer is available for full on YouTube now. They released the whole thing at once instead of in episodes. So go check that out. That's the follow up to this show, so you can find out what happened. We're going to review that next month and to get ready for their show March 8th. So get ready for that. Also, Toy Hio is February 8th, next Saturday. Harley Cameron, Julia Hart, Killswitch, and Danhausen will be in attendance. Come hang out. It's like $10 early bird. You can get your tickets right now at Time Capsule Toys and Niles or through Eventbrite. Get you in early.
Before I go into our plugs, let's talk about our guest next week. By the way, get hyped, baby. It's time for the big boofa. Desmond Cole is going to be on Monday. A week from Thursday, he will be on, and we're going to have the big boofa on, and we're going to find out exactly what a big boofa is.
Yes, we will finally have the answer to what is big boofa.
All your questions will be answered. All of your terms will be agreed upon, and we will have the big boofa in here, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, next week as we start careening towards ETU's tag tournament at the beginning of March. So you can find me on Twitter, on Instagram at JGold12. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Our Twitter handle at IWGuide1. Blue Sky, is it at IWGuide on Blue Sky?
Yep.
Patreon.com/IWGuide. I think YouTube IWGuide. I think we're going to start uploading some video elements so you can see us in our studios.
Yeah, the 3 interviews in February will be uploaded to YouTube. Not the entire show, just the interview portions will be uploaded to the YouTubes for everyone to see. Also, if you subscribe to our Patreon, you get our episodes commercial free, because I know people are saying that they're getting commercials. Yes, we know. We are getting 0.02 cents for them every time you hear one.
Woohoo!
So enjoy those. And if you want to go commercial free, join our Patreon. We have the $2 tier will get you in, get you the episodes every week. We have the $5 tier and the $10 tier. $10 tier gets you everything that we offer, plus merchandise when we release merchandise every so often. Yeah.
And we got to get JHawk a interior decorator for his studio. If we're going live on YouTube, JHawk, we're going to need you to kind of give the room a fresh coat of paint, maybe some wallpapering or something. So anyway, don't forget about the merch store over at Brainbuster Tees. I just got the IW Guide sweatshirt. I've been wearing it at all the shows. I love it. Gorilla Press apparel. When you use the code IWGP24, when you buy 2 or more items, you get $20 off your entire order. So check out Will. He is our buddy. He is our pal. He is the muse for Charly Butters. He is all good things in this world. Will is a great dude. Check out our podcast friends. Our network, the Main Event Wrestling Network. This is Royal Rumble week. They are going to be at Indianapolis at the Rumble. Kyle from On the Mark. He is going to be there all weekend. They're going to the GCW show. They're going to the Superstore. They're going to be video vlogging. They're going to be doing a lot of stuff. I believe they're doing a podcast while they're there as well. I really enjoy working with them on those Main Event mixers. It's just fun to kind of talk TV wrestling every once in a while, and they have a great setup. They're very professional. So check that out. Wrestling Junkies and On the Mark. And there's a whole bunch more. Great Brown Hope, I think his name is. They have so many different shows. Kyle works really hard to kind of vary what's on there, and we, as the independent show, we bring a different value to them. So it's pretty cool that we're on there. At Odds with Wrestling, the card is going to change. The Super Fantastic Podcast and Marks with Mikes. Check out our other friends, Time Capsule Toys, Toy Hio, Rubber City Toys. What's up, Zach, Neo Pro Wrestling, and Smoke and Jay's Barbecue. The best barbecue in Ohio. Brock, don't think I forgot about you. Still using that sauce. You're the man. That's all I got.
Life's short. Watch more indie wrestling. Until next week.
Hell yeah.
We hang out with the big boofa.
Boofa?
Later.
Don't forget to review and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Find us online at Facebook and Instagram at the Indie Wrestling Guide. And on X or Twitter at IWGuide1.